Hey there riders, Moto Journo Kris here, and a big release just unveiled out of Suzuki with their latest GSX-S variant uncovered in the new GSX S1000 GT or Grand Tourer, marking a pretty different styling direction for the brand. The GSX S1000 has made quite an impact since it was introduced, thanks to being a formidable machine at a highly competitive price and still managing to offer a good range of features. It wasn't perfect, with the throttle response the main criticism of the first version, but a map update helped there, and the bike's gone from strength to strength since. In fact, when they were first released, I remember seeing so many of a morning commuting around Sydney. With the new GSX S1000 GT, they've essentially replaced the GSX S1000F, or the faired version, and given us a more heavily touring-orientated version to replace it. Although naturally this is a sports touring machine, I'd say it remains competition for machines like Kawasaki's Ninja 1000, which is reflected in the pricing. So for the UK, the GSX S1000 GT will arrive in November at an RRP of £11,599. Pricing for the US is currently unknown, but with arrival expected in early 2022, while for those of us in Australia, the bike will be arriving for $19,090 right away, so that's the out-the-door price, with the bike already listed on the Suzuki Motorcycles website here. However, they won't be arriving until March, which is the same date we're expecting the new naked GSX S1000, which is also updated for 2022. For the US, I reckon the price will be pretty closely aligned with Kawasaki's Ninja 1000 XS, which has an MSRP of $12,399. One point of note is the hard panniers featured in most of the images are not actually standard fitment, adding about £750 to the price on their own, excluding fitment and the various bits and bobs that go with them. And you should be able to fit them yourself, I'd imagine. A direct currency conversion for us Aussies leaves them probably around the $1,500 mark, but it looks as though the price of the bike, or the base price at least, is more competitive than for the Brits, so we may pay more for accessories, kind of as a trade-off for that. But what are you getting on the 2022 GSX S1000 GT? Well, to start with, the iconic K5, K6 derived 999cc inline-4 power plant, which now meets Euro 5 and does so without any capacity increases, which is a refreshing change if I'm honest. Peak power is 152 ponies with 106 Nm of torque, marking a reasonable increase over the original GSX-S, which had 143 horsepower. Standard is the Suzuki clutch assist system, as well as a slipper clutch with bi-directional quickshifter functionality as a result, alongside a lighter lever pull. Throttle bodies are electronically activated and a 40mm bore, as you'd expect from a ride-by-wire machine. Updated is the airbox with a focus on reducing air intake, resistance and weight, boosting power, and that's something we saw on that naked GSX-S as well. Electronics sit under the Suzuki Intelligent Ride System, or SIRS, with a drive mode selector, traction control, cruise control, easy start system and low RPM assist, which helps prevent stalls. The three modes are A for active or a direct throttle response, B for basic with a more linear power delivery and softer initial throttle response, while C is for comfort and is the softest, but does eventually reach the same max power. Interestingly, there's no IMU for cornering ABS or traction control, although you have to ask if that's really necessary on a machine like this. The dash, meanwhile, is a 6.5-inch TFT display, offering a clear look at the various settings and speed. Naturally, you're getting smartphone syncing compatibility with the Suzuki MySpin app, including screen mirroring of maps, calendar, music, phone calls and contacts. When it comes to the chassis, we're seeing the existing twin spar frame and aluminium superbike style swing arm continue. However, there is a new subframe designed for carrying a pillion and full luggage setup, with lower seat rails allowing for a thicker pillion seat. Suspension is 43mm KYB forks with full adjustability, matched to a link type shock which just has rebound and preload adjustment, with Suzuki describing the ride as sporty yet plush. Brakes, meanwhile, are dual 4-piston Brembo monoblock front calipers on 310mm rotors, while the rear is a Nissan unit on a 220mm rotor. Both are backed by ABS, standard ABS, and you can grab yourself a set of coloured Brembo calipers as an accessory to bling things up. The seat position is what you'd expect from a sports tourer, with raised bars helping keep weight off your arms and reducing back strain, while offering a clear view down the road. Rubber mounts are also run in the top bridge and the handlebar brackets to reduce vibrations, and the pegs are likewise rubber clad. Seat height is an inviting 8-10mm, which is fairly low for this style of machine, with rider and pillion seats running a new material for better grip, while grab rails give the pillion something to hold on to and retain a sporty look. Most of the attention to the seat updates go to the pillion seat as far as giving them more comfort. The screen is specially designed to keep wind off the rider, with the side folds helping shield your shoulders, although with screens your height and proportions can have a big impact on how well they actually work for you. Not being adjustable is an interesting choice though on this style of bike. Instead you'll have to buy the touring screen, which is a bit more upright and taller, adding 70mm of height. The new headlight is a set of LEDs with a DRL monobrow, and my first thought on seeing this bike was that it reminds me somewhat of Yamaha's R1, with a notable point about that light setup being it does away with the reflector, instead relying on a special lens to directly focus the light. It's an aggressive front light setup, which combined with a tall front fairing and screen, wing style front fairing panels, and overall pretty angular lines kind of reminds me of a shark. A big factor here was aerodynamics, according to Suzuki, ensuring high-speed touring is comfortable and minimizing fatigue. Indicators are LED units, as we're now expecting as standard, mirrors are wide and fold back, while the brake lever is adjustable but not the clutch. The tail light is a fairly beefy unit, but then so is the tail, so visibility shouldn't be an issue, and it all does come together. Even the license plate now gets an LED light. Finally, the fuel tank holds 19 litres with a total range of roughly 300 kilometers, which isn't enormous but should definitely get you between fuel stops. So overall, the new Suzuki GSX-S 1000 GT looks well placed to compete with Kawasaki's Ninja 1000 and is even a little bit lighter, offering a competitively priced, well-spec'd option that is a lot of bike with a good electronics package that'll keep most happy without going crazy. I'd also guess the model is priced for that comparison too, and while there's about an $1,800 premium over the standard GSX S1000 here in Australia, you can definitely see the appeal of the touring-orientated version with the fairings and additional wind protection, and a great focus on two-up travel. One point I'll also add about the previously mentioned hard side bags is that that price does not include mounting brackets, which are another £170, the locks, which are another £40, or the colour matched panels, which are another £50, which significantly increases the overall price of that setup, and they are listed on their website, the UK website anyway, as required for that accessory. It does make sense to keep the side bags or pannier as an accessory though. I think this is a pretty price sensitive segment with a focus on those looking for exceptional value, and with that being the case, it gives them the option to bring aftermarket bags across from another bike, or pick a cheaper aftermarket option if they don't want the genuine items, which do tend to be quite an expensive unit across most of the brands. I'm interested now to see one of these bikes in the metal to see how that styling works in real life. I was apparently one of the minority really liking the look of the new Katana in comparison, but the GSX-S 1000 GT isn't pulling my heartstrings if I'm honest. I'd still take the GSX-S 750. As a quick recap, the 2022 Suzuki GSX-S 1000 GT will arrive in the UK in November for £11,599, and that is an RRP. In Australia, March 2022 for $19,090 right away, while no official US pricing has yet been announced. It's due early 2022, and I think it'll be very close to the Ninja 1000 SX MSRP of $12,399. They'll probably try and match that, or maybe even beat it if they can. But let me know what you think in the comments, and as always, stay safe out there and thanks for watching.